Hello, Java programmers. All right, so I've got a few new things to show you. Not my extremely messy desktop. I'm going to be jumping around a bit today, so you get to see how messy I am. We're going to be learning about type conversions. That's when you change the variable type from one to another. We're going to be learning a new data type called a double, which is for decimals, and how to use arithmetic operators. Okay, so let's make a new class. I'm going to imagine we're going to try and do something like take input from the user, which is numbers, and then add those up. Okay, so I'm going to start with my main method as always. And I'm going to format that. I should really have my Eclipse do that automatically. Okay, so say we have two numbers. We have x, which is a very big number, and then we have y. And I don't want to manually have to do that, so I'm going to make a new variable. I'll call it the total, and it's going to be x plus y. Pretty self-explanatory that you use a plus when you want to add. Okay, let's see what the result of that is. Some other big number. All right, so that's all well and good. If we wanted to do something like divide something by another thing, we'd use the slash. That's for divide by. You could put y divided by x. That will divide y by x. To multiply, you use star, and to subtract, you use minus. Okay, so now you know about the main arithmetic operators in Java. None of this is taking any input from the user, so I'm going to try to do that. All right, we're going to use a pop-up just by now, and it's going to be an input dialog. Okay. All right, so we have the number the input pop-up coming up. We're going to have to store the is that, and it's always got to be a string. And the reason for that is this show input dialog method always returns a string. You'll understand more about how that makes sense later. For now, you just have to trust me that you're only going to get a string back from this, and such is life. All right, I'm going to make two numbers. Another. Okay, let's do something with the result. I'm going to try and pop up the answer. So message dialog, put that null in there, and now I'm going to try and do an addition. Okay, let's see what happens. Right, I'm going to add 2 and 2. 22, not what I expected. What's actually happening here is we're not adding at all. All we're doing is concatenating these two strings, the string number 1 and the string number 2, and so we're not actually doing anything with the numbers inside. So what we actually want to do in this case is we need to convert from a string into an int. And that's a little tricky. You got to use this thing, integer dot parse int. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to take the value in number 1, which may be a string, and then it's going to convert it to an int, and it's going to store that answer in number 1 as int. There's a little bit to that, so we'll be doing a bit more practicing. I'm going to get the other one, number 2. Okay, and now I'm going to add my numbers as ints rather than my numbers as strings and see what happens. 2 and 2 is 4. All right, so just to recap, we took 2 strings from the user, we converted those variables to ints, and then we added them together. Okay, this is not formatted. All right. So we're going to try and use this new knowledge to make a change calculator. It's going to do this. It's one I made earlier. Okay, how many nickels do I have? 2 nickels, 3 dimes, 30, 40 cents, and 1 quarter, 65 cents. All right, so to make this, I'm going to close the answer. And we're going to use this thing called a recipe. And I want you to get familiar with these because we're going to be doing lots of recipes to practice. So I've just switched over to my browser here and I'm going to go to GitHub. I've already made an account. The first thing you're going to do in the next lesson is make your own GitHub account. This is my list of repositories. Repository is a package of code. And I'm going to open up my lesson 1. And what I'm looking for is the change calculator recipe that will be linked from Blackboard, from where you see my videos and things. But I don't have that link, so I'm going to go into source, which is where source code lives. And then I'm going to go into the change calculator recipe. All right, I'm not sure if it's immediately obvious to you guys yet, but this is just a skeleton. There's not very much code in it except for the class declaration and the main method. So I'm going to copy this and put it into my Eclipse, and then I'm going to start working on it. All right, so I'll make a new class. You got to use this little arrow guy. Want to give it a different name on purpose. All right, so because I haven't selected my package, it says source folder name is empty, so I'm going to click on here before I create my new class to the default package and then do it again. All right, change thingy. And then I'm going to paste. First of all, I'm going to select everything that's there, delete it, and I'm pasting what I have from my clipboard that I got from GitHub. I guess I can make this bigger now. You can stop looking at my horrible desktop. All right, the first thing is we have red here. Red, no bueno. So I'm going to see what's wrong with it. This little light bulb helps you find solutions when you have problems. It's called a quick fix. When I click on the light bulb, it should give me a bunch of options as to how I can fix this. So my choices are rename file or rename type. And what's going on here is that your class name and the class name specified after this public class, the class name must always match the file name that you can see over here on the left. My file name's change thingy, my class name's change calculator, and it wants to match those things. So I'm going to use the quick fix to do the rename. There we go. All right, already have the main method, don't need to do that. So this is called a recipe. A recipe has step-by-step instructions in comments for what you should do. Okay, we learned about this kind of comment before, double slashes. That's if you just want one line. If you want a paragraph, then you can use that, which is a slash and a star, and then you can write some stuff, and then you close it with a star and a slash, or Eclipse did it automatically for me there, and I can make as many of these as I want. Okay, so those are the 2 types of comments in Java. Let's see what we're supposed to do with this recipe. I have a pocket full of change. I hate doing math. Make me a program that will calculate how much money I have without me having to use my brain. Then make me a sandwich. I must have been smoking something when I wrote this. Anyway, we don't need to do the sandwich part. We're just going to try and ask the user for how many nickels. All right, I'll start this out. Going to do a J option pane, which I'm sure you'll be used to by now. And because we're asking the user for input, it's an input dialog. How many nickels? Question mark, quote, semicolon at the end. And if I just do that, we're not taking account of the user's input at all. We're just ignoring it. So I need to save it in a string. Nickels. I'm going to call it nickels as string this time. Okay, so after I do each line, I'm going to run it and test and see if it works. How many nickels? 4. All right, so I did that, and now I know that the first line is working. Ask the user how many nickels. Next, convert their answer to an int using integer.parseInt. This is what I just showed you guys. So we're going to do int nickels equals integer. I'm control spacing right now. Parse, select that one, and then put my nickels as string in there. Okay. To test that, I guess I should print it out. I don't really know how else to test it, but let's see what happens. My Eclipse is switching across like that, which is sort of annoying, so I'm going to move it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to run this again. Okay, it's printing that down there. I'm happy enough that this is done, so I'm going to remove the comment and then move on to the next one, which is ask the user how many dimes they have. All right, I think I'm going to let you guys finish that off if you want to. Oh yeah, I did mean to tell you about what this is a website, github.com. You use it to store your portfolio as a programmer. So in the next lesson, you're going to be making your own, and in future, all your code uploaded there. All right, till next time.